Hey everyone, welcome back to Automate with Amit. In my previous video where I had covered how you can test application using AI, and I was building an application using Cursor AI, and we have developed a complete application from scratch, and also we performed testing on it using test sprite MCP. So in this video what we are going to do, we are going to do one step ahead, and in this particular video we are going to see how we can actually use the application from maybe any Docker, or we can also use some place where we can deploy this application. So I may not be as technically sound to deploy the application. I haven't done that, but learning with me, and if you are also not aware how to deploy the things, I think together we can learn, and together we can see how we can utilize AI to learn how to deploy the application. And believe me, this is going to be really fun to learn everything. And if you just watch this video from start till end, you are going to get complete insights, and for the first time you will understand that how applications get deployed. So that way you will understand the complete deployment also. So believe me, I'm not a hardcore developer or something. I am a QA engineer, and I have been working with automation testing related things. So I am not that much aware about deployment process or how to deploy an application in any of the places, maybe Docker or something. So learning this with me with AI basically is going to be a complete fun. So let's get inside and we'll see what we can do together to deploy this application and use from a particular URL rather. Okay. So without any delay, if you haven't subscribed the channel and if you are watching me for the first time, please make sure to subscribe the channel. I keep on creating such videos which can help us as a QA. Believe me, AI has given all of us wings, especially QAs, because, or SDETs basically, because before this, as a QA or SDET, we had very limited understanding of the applications, or very limited understanding of creating an application from start till end. So that way it was very limited for us, but AI has opened the doors, and believe me, it's sky is the limit. I find this very very interesting to create such applications and all, and playing with this is completely very much fun. So let's have fun together in this video. Okay, so before we begin, I just wanted to showcase what is the what we had done so far. Okay, so if you are new here, in previous video we had tested this application, and before this we had created this application. We do not created this application from scratch, rather we used AI to build such an stunning website. So over here, if you see, this has add task feature, total task completed, in progress, overdue, all of these things it is showing, and you can add task over here using this, and you can add task from here, and once you add, it will appear over here. You can search task, so testing task 1, so it showcase the results over here, and you can update the status of this, whether it is pending, whether it is completed, and completed. If it is completed, then it shows the completion rate also and the categorization of the application. So this was a quick overview of the application. Now let's get inside the Cursor AI. So this is the Cursor AI. So if you are watching this video for the first time and haven't worked with Cursor before, I have created a video where I had downloaded, and I had explained the features of Cursor and how you can start working with this. So you can watch out my previous videos where I have created videos of created this complete application from scratch. So now in this particular application, what we are going to understand, over here you see tell me steps, step by step process using which I can deploy this application on a particular URL. So I may not be aware about the deployment process, so I consider me as a beginner. Okay, so beginner who haven't done deployment before. Okay, so I just wrote this. Let's see what it gives us and what we can do further on this. So it has over here, if you see, it has created all of this front end, back end, front end, folders, and test sprite test also has been created over here. It has created docker compose.yaml file. So now what it is doing right now, this is creating a markdown file. So what is markdown file? It is writing down every step by step things, I think. So beginner deployment guide, basically it is writing over here. So deployment.md. So it has, before it has created this deployment.md. So what are the different ways to start this application? So why till the time it is generating this, why deployment is what is the ways we can use this application? So right now we have written all of this application, the code is here, but how to access this application? Okay, that's where accessing the application from different ways is called deployment. So there are multiple options. Okay, first option over here, if you see, it has created a start script. So script is nothing but start.sh, this shell script it has created. I'll tell you what it does. But if we have to run this application manually, so what is the way how we can start this application? So first is you have to start the backend setup. So there are backend where we have our libraries, we have our all the requirements, our APIs, and all those things are ready. So in order to have backend started, we need to go in the terminal over here, and I have already created this terminal. So in terminal, basically we have to go in here, see cd backend. So we need to go in the backend folder over here. This is the backend folder, and then we have to create the go inside the virtual environment, so where all the libraries has been installed, and then source, we need to activate this virtual environment so that we can access all the installed libraries, and then we are simply installing all the requirements. So what are the requirements over here? Different libraries, so Python libraries which are helpful to do the backend related setup. So yeah, so once that is ready, our backend is ready. Now for front end, if you see over here front end. Okay, so one more thing before starting front end, in backend basically it's ask copy environment file. So if you have certain API keys and all those things, then you can keep your API keys into .env file, which is environment file from where it reads through all the application related data or the secret keys. So for front end setup over here, front end setup is fine. Okay, so meanwhile over here, if you see, now let me create some helper scripts to make the deployment process even smoother. So let's see, let's check what it has done so far. Okay, so yeah, so over here I just go and okay, so it was creating beginner friendly deployment.md. Okay, so I can see you already have a deployment guide. Let me create a comprehensive beginner friendly guide. So it has, I think, beginner deployment guide.markdown file. We'll go through this also. Now let me create a deployment checklist and some helper scripts to make the process even easier. So yeah, deployment checklist.markdown, it has created checklist also. Now let me create some helper scripts to make the deployment process even smoother. Okay, so prepare for deployment.shell script it is trying to create, and it is asking me run this time. Okay, so it is asking me to run. I'll just click on run. This is one way is to keep human in the loop. Okay, why this is important? Because we want to keep humans also in check. If I am working on this application, then I want this to be developed in my guidance. Basically, I don't want AI to change something which I may not be aware of. So that's why it is important, and it has prepare for development and okay, deployment and deploy to github.sh. Okay, so now let me create a quick deployment script that will help you push your code to GitHub. Okay, I'll ask this to run. Okay, so it is creating this check deployment.sh. Finally, let me create a, okay, so it is creating deployment status checker also, whether deployment has been completed properly or not. So okay, so meanwhile, let's come back on the front end part. So over here, if you see, now you can create to do front end application. So for front end setup, we just have to do three things. CD front end, basically we need to navigate to front end folder, which is this one, and then in here we need to do two particular code we need to run. So npm install, so npm is node package manager install, and npm start. So basically we are starting our front end application. So once this is ready, we have our local host which will be running our application on port number 3000. So over here also, if you see, local 3000 is the place where it is running my application. Okay, so now let's come back. Finally, let me create a simple deployment status checker. Okay, so let's see if it has created. So check deployment.sh, another file it is creating. Perfect. Perfect. Now let me create a final summary document that ties everything together. Okay, so now it is trying to create deployment underscore summary.markdown file as well. Okay, so it has created a deployment checklist also, completed deployment package ready. I have created a comprehensive deployment package for your application that's perfect for beginners. Okay, let's understand what it has done. Complete documentation. First is beginner deployment guide md, deployment checklist.md, deployment summary.md, helper scripts. Okay, so prepare for deployment.sh, deploy to github.sh, check deployment and test application. Okay, so it has created all these steps. Now quick start, 30 minutes total. Prepare your application. So this is the shell scripts I need to run. I need to push to GitHub and then deploy to internet. Follow beginner deployment guide, deploy backend to render, deploy front end to Vercel. So basically it has given the applications also where I can deploy. So render and Vercel is are the two places where I can deploy my application. Okay, so front end and back end. Okay, cost $0 per month, completely free. Perfect for beginners, though no prior deployment experience needed. Step-by-step instructions with explanations. Okay, what will you deploy? Okay, so before going into this, I have so many start and stop and all those shell scripts. So I just want to, to avoid any confusion, I want, can you refactor code and remove unnecessary scripts, for example star.sh, etc., which may not be relevant as of now. Okay, so let's see if I also don't want that it removes everything. So okay, so let's see if it does the refactoring also. Meanwhile, once it is done, then my application is going to be completely ready for deployment. I'll do one round of deployment also of this application. Now let me examine the existing scripts to understand, remove redundant and outdated scripts. Okay, scripts to remove, it has removed. Okay, deleted all the unnecessary files. Now let me clean up backup files and improve the remaining scripts. Okay, this is fine. Package json.backup files. Now let me improve the main. Okay, so I think this has done everything. Just we need to check these things. Once this is ready, we'll be going through each one of them. So now if you see, it has created 5 tasks: analyzing existing scripts and identify redundant ones, and remove redundant and outdated scripts, consolidate similar functionality into fewer better scripts, update documentation to reflect new scripts structure, remove backup files and temporary files. So it has done everything. So it has also created a refactoring summary. Fine, so kept and improved. Okay, that's fine. Now I think we are good to start with deployment related stuff which it has created. So first of all, I'll go in this here, which it has created complete deployment package ready. Okay, so it has created beginner deployment guide, step-by-step guide, start here, and then detailed checklist, and then overview and quick start. So I'll be going one by one on this. Okay, so now if you see complete beginner's guide to deploy your to-do application, this guide will take you from having a local application to having it live on the internet, step by step, no prior deployment experience required. What will deploy? Front-end React application, back-end Flask API, and nothing but database also, PostgreSQL provided by Render for free, and deploy to Render this. So basically front end we are going to deploy to Vercel, which is free. I never heard of this platform. Render is going to go on, backend is going to go on Render and database also. So final result, basically after deployment you will have your application accessible at something, your application.vercel.app, and your API accessible at this. Okay, a live working to do application on the internet. Okay, so prerequisites: 5-minute setup, create free accounts on GitHub, Vercel and Render, and install required tools. So we need to install Git if not already installed on install required tools. Okay, I don't know where it is supposed to install, but install Vercel CLI and install node.js if not already installed. Okay, so it has also said npm install -g Vercel. Okay, we'll see this. Step 1, prepare your code for deployment. 10 minutes, create a GitHub repository, upload your code to GitHub, then prepare environment files, then deploy backend to Render, which is step 2, create Render account and connect to GitHub, configure backend service. Okay, so it has given us step-by-step things. So we'll go through this in next video. So this video has already become so long or lengthy. So we'll go one by one every step in the next video, and we'll see exactly how we can do the deployment of this application, and then you use and let me know whether it is working fine or not. Okay, so if you haven't subscribed the channel and if you are new over here, please make sure to subscribe. It gives lots of motivation to bring such content, and if you really like the video, drop a thumbs up or comment in the comment box that really liking it, so that I can also understand whether you are liking this series and you want this more this type of more application creation. Maybe in future I am going to create application related to QA related things, maybe creating automation test cases or understanding the requirement related things. So do comment whatever are your ask. I am going to definitely create videos on that as well. And if you like the video, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to watch next video, because next video I am going to do a complete hands-on to deploy the application. Okay, see you in the next one.